hello once again, it's Nick here from Nick's News and Reviews, and it's Friday, so it's time for one of those weekly roundup things. Today is the 28th of November, if I'm not mistaken, so the last one of November as we head into December. You can check this if you want, but I've checked it on a calendar and that's sort of the way it works. So what's been going on this week? Well, Lewis Hamilton has become double world champion for Mercedes, so he'll probably go on and win another championship now. So well done to him, Britain's first double world champion since Jackie Stewart, and I think that's been a while ago. So he'll probably become triple world champion next time, unless something goes weird. I hope Jenson Button gets to drive next season, he deserves to, but he probably won't. Yeah, what else can I say this time? Oh yes, you must watch the Jurassic World trailer. The film's out next year, but a trailer has been released, so check that out on YouTube after you've watched this video, of course. Yes, I don't want to spoil it for you, but they got a sea life centre. Jurassic World, the park's actually open and got paying guests there, and they got this massive sea monster thing. The people in the front few rows might get splashed, but I think a dinosaur might escape and stuff goes wrong again and people start getting killed. I'm not sure about that, but it seems to be a set plot. But getting back on subject, what gaming videos have we uploaded this week? Well, it's all been about driving and shooting stuff. Starting with the Spectrum back in 1988, we bring you Xenon. It's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up by Melbourne House. Already reviewed this on the Commodore Amiga, so it was only a matter of time for the Spectrum version come in. A little bit dull compared to other shoot 'em ups like Silkworm 4. I slightly prefer Flying Shark to this one as well, all a little bit blue, but I don't mind it. You can select between a tank, well I say it's a tank, it looks more like a clam thing, and a fighter ship. The one thing that does let this game down a little though, every time you die you must start from the beginning again. So it doesn't actually save your progress unless you get way into the game, so it ruins it slightly, but that's been a Xenon. Yeah, and the next game we come to is another shoot 'em up, but this time a 2D scroller. It's Silkworm, released in 1989, published by Virgin. I know I might be sounding like a broken record here, but I also reviewed this on the Commodore Amiga. The Spectrum version does quite well what it has. I think the Spectrum, to be honest, deals better with 2D scrollers rather than 3D ones, because they can set it on a dark background a lot easier, and the vertical scrolling up seem to have the same colour, so everything blends in, so 2D ones seem to work better. I quite like this version of Silkworm, although it is a little bit tricky. It's a two-player game. You can, well, player 2 controls the Jeep, player 1 the helicopter there, but the one flaw with this game is that you can't turn off the second player, or at least I couldn't find it, so I had to go trying to control the Jeep and the helicopter at the same time. Bearing in mind I struggle on one player normally, this had a bit of a mixed result. So check that one out. So two shoot 'em ups there, a vertical scroller and a horizontal one. Then we go on to the Amiga with a pig awful game. This one is called Days of Thunder, based on a horrendous movie. Well, I think it's horrendous anyway, the bits I've seen. Starring Tom Cruise as the NASCAR driver Cole Trickle, who drives around in ovals all the time. This game could have been good. Days of Thunder by Mindscape in 1990, but it isn't. And the reason why it isn't, it moves so ridiculously slow. I got this game with my Commodore Amiga back in the day as a part of a bundle, and although I played it a lot, it was more to see what the other tracks look like, and they're all pretty much ovals. You'd do well to find a good review on this on YouTube or on the internet in general. It is blooming poor. I'm not saying that NASCAR's boring, although it's not my cup of tea. I'm more of a Formula 1 man. Well done, Lewis Hamilton again. But you're almost going, if you was to run around an oval with a camera on your head, the footage you get would probably be roughly the same speed of these cars driving around, if not a little bit quicker. So a little bit disappointing, Mindscape, but that was in 1990. Best to move on with that one, but have a look at it for nostalgia reasons. Tell me what you think, or comment below even. It's an absolute dog. And then we leave the Amigas I thought I'd have to give you a better racing game than that one. So we move on to the PlayStation 1 with Ridge Racer High Spec Demo. This one is by good old Namco, ace of the arcades. And this is based on the original Ridge Racer. Came out in the arcades in 1993. Ridge Racer came out in 1995. This is Ridge Racer High Spec Demo, which is like, well, supposed to be an upgraded version of Ridge Racer with less modes. The graphics are updated. It was given away as a free disc with Ridge Racer 4, which I'll come to at some point, no doubt. But it's all about drifting, and the graphics of this, to me, I mean, Gran Turismo is much better graphically, hands down. But this one just shouts at me arcades of the 80s and early 90s. Pretty special, this. It helps you can drift, which I was a bit half and half with. There is a knack to doing that. But I still got a bit of enjoyment from it, so have a look at that one. I really enjoyed reviewing that one, and I think it shows. Ridge Racer. I'm quite tempted to have a look at other ones in the series as well, especially the original. I think it's either $6.99 or $7.99 from the PSN store at the moment, so I think that might be well worth a look. And where do we come to now? Oh yes, I've neglected it for quite some time, so we jump back onto the Game Boy Advance, and where better not than the Simpsons with, well, the Simpsons Road Rage. Now this is a complete clone, I'd have to say, of a game called Crazy Taxi, released by THQ in 2003, and it's such a clone in fact that the makers of Crazy Taxi, Sega, tried to sue THQ and Fox Network, the makers of The Simpsons, and, well, undisclosed sum, this was settled out of court. Yeah, so what about the game? Well, it's not a bad little game, although I find it hard to drive at some points with the low resolution there. They've done well as far as the Game Boy Advance's graphics would allow, but the low resolution makes it hard to see where you're going at certain points. But the idea of the game is you control any one of about, well, 5 characters initially, including Homer Simpson, Lisa, Bart or Marge or a grandpa. You have to pick up various residents from Springfield from around the map there. It's a 3D driving game, and deliver them to certain areas like the school or other areas of the map. Yeah, I was a bit hit and miss on that, but the game is good fun once you get used to it, but as I say, a little bit of the pain in the bum. Not perfect, but quite good. Better on other versions. I've seen it on the PS2, and it's probably worth having a look at that one, really. And yeah, that's been it this week. Hope you've liked watching the videos. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to keep up 5 a week coming into Christmas. I work a 40-hour week. Yes, God nabbit. And the videos take a while to do, which I hope you appreciate there. But we've got to do Christmas shopping as well, so we'll see how we get on, really. Fingers crossed, I don't want to drop below 3, but we'll try and keep it to 5 if possible. So thank you for watching again, and until next time then, goodbye.
Goodbye.